background. Yeah. You hold on. You can't do the mic setting, Joe, where it does the noise. The you remember you told me about it, the fan Joe. They put it on like medium or high maybe. See how that works. Uh, I mean, we haven't started yet. If you gotta go switch, brother, I mean, do your thing. Laura Browler. What's happening? She's still in the waiting room? Hello? Oh, oh, wait. I think when you moved your camera, I feel like you're using the mic from the camera. uh, yeah, but you good. It's good. It's good. Your dog in the background. It just jumps up there. Hmm? You know what my ass? Why? Yeah, just send it to the Instagram group again because I don't think I got it either. Hello. Nice to meet you too. Just let me know when you want me to go live, bro. Right now? All right, give me a second. And we are live.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and. All right, and get things started here. All right.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everybody. This is Jordan with the Pros Veteran Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I am honored to have my co-host CJ Cabrera and Radika Wood with me today. How you guys doing?
Doing
Great,
all
great, great,
right.
great.
Cool. And we are super grateful to have a very special guest. Laura Bowler is with us today, coming from the sunny beaches from St. Lucia. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Nice to meet all three of you. I was just saying how nice it is that we've got all three of you on doing the chat today. So yeah, nice to be here. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Thank you for
You're very
coming.
welcome. Very welcome. Very grateful. And so, yeah. So, just before we get into the IBD and Crohn stuff, I know that you're. I'm kind of just curious, on how you find yourself, in St. Lucia of all places.
So there's a long story with that. I have actually worked abroad. Well, I'm from England. You can probably hear with my accent. And I've worked abroad for since 2012 now. And there was a process of, the reasons why I chose to go abroad and my Crohn's story and why I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go there, do what, I love and see the world. So basically that's why, I'm in St. Lucia. Because I've travelled around a lot really with my work after being, so seriously ill.
Well, right on. Well, and so being a fitness instructor, what is it about that you enjoy the most?
Well, with being in St. Lucia, obviously you get the sun, the sea, the sand. So I get to choose some amazing locations that I can do some of my classes in. So I really explain to my client base that they can do it from home because it's an online platform. And we do actually get quite a lot of Crohn's people joining me, obviously because I have it and they can relate to me as well, and I can relate to them. So instead of going to a gym, you can have it at home and it's accessible to you quickly. If you're having a down day and you think, shall I do a bit of fitness? Yeah, I can just hop on for 30 minutes with Laura. And then I'm out in some nice locations. So my backdrops are lovely for people. So sometimes we're on the beach. I can be with nice trees and rainforest kind of thing out the back. So there's loads of different things that we can do with online fitness classes. And especially for, all walks of life as well. So anybody can join. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is awesome.
And it's on demand too. So if you feel like you don't want to do it one day or you've got something, on, then obviously you can watch all my classes on demand afterwards. So yeah, they love that part of the platform.
Yeah. That's very admirable that you are able to just travel abroad and find a location that you found to be great for you, and you have your online platform for your fitness and whatnot. How did you get your confidence up to be able to do that without having the anxiety of wondering what would happen while I'm out transitioning different places? Like, what was that like for you?
Well, I think going back, I don't know if we'll talk about my Crohn's and what struggles I've had, and then obviously relating it to where I am now is probably the best way around to explain it. So to start off with, always loved traveling. So traveling as, a hobby, passion, anything, traveling is my thing. So when I was 24, I was having some symptoms with my Crohn's, not knowing it was Crohn's, diagnosing me wrong in England, but, can't be helped. Then they said, you can have these tablets, go on your travels, you'll be fine. Obviously got to Thailand, really wasn't fine. Had like I felt like I had a hard mass in my side, constant pain, losing a lot of weight, and I wasn't understanding why. Like a lot of patients and a lot of people with Crohn's would never even know about Crohn's before they say to you, you've got Crohn's. And you're like, right, so what's that then? So I was actually in Thailand and I needed to get somewhere with like reciprocal healthcare for me. So I had to get on a flight straight from Thailand to Australia in an ambulance straight to the hospital. So I was diagnosed, how amazing Australian healthcare is, by the way, not, plugging it or anything, but was amazing. In like, I don't know, 3 hours or something, I did a CT scan, everything. Hello, put you in a room. Hello, you've got Crohn's disease. I was like, oh, okay then. So yeah, obviously I was on a lot of medication. I started on 55 milligram steroids. And they were like, right, okay, carry on with your travel, even though I was in a lot of pain, but I wanted to carry on with this travel because that was my aim, like 6 months of traveling. I was like, I'm going to do it. I've got my tickets booked. They're like, right, well, steroids will mask the pain. So you can have this medication for 55 milligrams for your 6 months, see how you get on. Anyway, I literally carried on traveling and I was tapering down. Obviously you have to taper down off your steroids, right? Got to about 44, 45 milligram agony again. So we're like, look, the only thing we can think of for you now is just surgery. So actually, I haven't had Crohn's with medication before my surgery. I was straight into surgery because they said there was nothing else they could do. It was instant, like, surgery. So I was like, wow. So I'd just been diagnosed, and then it was, you've got to have surgery in Australia. And I was like, really? So it was amazing. They had like phones next to your bed as well, like no dramas. Everything was like so like cool and relaxed over there. So my mum was calling, just like from the, like in England you have to pay, right, to use the phone and everything. It's all just included. My mum was like phoning me in Australia. I was like, Mum, what, you know, obviously I was in horrific pain at the time. I was like, right, okay, I'll come home. So then I came home and had my first surgery in England, where I had to have a stoma bag for 3 months, and then obviously let my bowel rest. I went down to 4.5 stone. I don't know if you do stones in, I don't know if you, yeah.
We do weight.
Yeah. 4.5 stone. You can work out the difference, what it is. But I lost a lot of weight. Obviously I couldn't walk. I lost all my muscle mass. And yeah, so I had a stoma for 3 months, and then I was in hospital for about 3 months as well. So living in hospital, I can sympathise with everybody that is in hospital, because it can get very isolating, and especially when you're on a ward that, well, I was with older people as well. So I didn't have a young kind of, I was 24 at the time, and I didn't really have anyone around me that I could talk to. My family and friends were very, very supportive. So it is good to have that network. But with all things like this, I just want to say how amazing it is that you're doing this, because for people that perhaps haven't got that support network, like family and friends, they can be supported by me or you, or, you know, anybody that can give them a chat, say, I've been there, I've done that, I know this, you know, I can help you, don't worry. And I think that's brilliant that, you know, you started this up, and to start to, you know, put the word out there about what it is and how we can help, really, not necessarily what it is, just how we can help the people with it. Not like, hey, we've got Crohn's and look at us. It's like, no, I want to be there to help that person with the exact same thing that I had. And, you know, there wasn't much. I mean, that was quite a long time ago now, 2009. So, you know, we didn't have Instagram. Well, did we? I can't even remember whether we had Instagram.
I don't think something like that.
No, we didn't have things like that. So, you know, it's not like something that you can just pick up your phone and have a chat to somebody. Whereas now, obviously, there is a lot more social media where we can put that word out. So yeah, so 3 months that I had the stoma bag, which obviously I had to learn how to do all that. I don't know if any of you got a stoma bag or have had a stoma bag, or.
Yeah, I have a closed-in colostomy.
Yeah. So obviously being in intensive care and then coming out and not really knowing where you are and having to deal with the bag, and you can't move, like literally you must like.
Yeah, actually, Laura, yeah, I mean, that was more my experience, was I guess it'd be called like a temporary ileostomy. And so
Yes.
so I had that maybe, yeah, probably similar to you, probably a couple of months before my actual surgery. You know,
Yeah. And when you have that when you come out of surgery and you can't move and you're literally just like, can't even, I don't think you understand how much you use your core muscles for everything. Like you can't move.
Right. It's amazing how your body shuts down. Quickly your body shuts down, you know, being laid up in a hospital.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was saying, oh, I'm in pain. And they were like, oh, you know, it's fine. It's just the surgery. No, on Christmas Day, the day before Christmas Day, they were like, you can get out. It was near Christmas. And I was like, yes, I can be out for Christmas with my family. Christmas morning, my stitches started. I know this is a bit graphic. My stitches started to like open a bit. And then it was like, oh, you need to come back in. And then I had to be opened up. So I had my stoma bag, and then I had to be opened up. And they just like, literally just put like anesthetic and just cut me open in the ward. I didn't go in surgery or anything. I can remember my dad's face just looking at me like because they could see, like I couldn't see, and they were just like, wow. And then I had to be packed then. So I had my scar, I was an open wound basically, and then it was like packed up because you can't like close it back up again. Then I had to get used to obviously my stoma, and then to be packed, my scar had to be packed until it like rose up itself. And then after 3 months, I obviously had that. Oh no, it didn't start working. So you know, you have that thing where it doesn't, your bowel doesn't start working.
Like
So if anybody's listening to this, or they're scared or worried or anything like that, I've been through that, where you know, you feel like you can't breathe because it's just all sitting there, isn't it? And you know, until, well, I had to have like the pipe up your nose and out your nose, and then it releases. So yeah, so anybody that's had any issues like that as well, I'm always here to talk to you about that, because I'm not sure if anybody's ever had that. Well, I know have that experience, but and then after 3 months I had it reversed. So I then had it all put back together, and yeah, and that was it is strange, obviously, like learning how to go to the toilet again and stuff like that. I mean, you've obviously, so then I put my weight back on. No, 2 months after or 3 months after, I did a marathon. I did the half marathon. My mum was like, I can't believe you've even done that.
Wow.
So I walked some of it. Fair play. I didn't like, you know, run the whole thing. But I just thought, you know, I've got to do something, want to do something. So I raised money and I did a half marathon. My legs, you know, like cycling shorts, my legs were like, the cycling shorts was baggy around my legs, but I was like, I'm still doing it. So yeah, I walked half the way. Yeah, so I just wanted to do something, get up and try and do something. And then my passion for, obviously, you know, still doing my event management, but I used to sit at a desk, and I think half the reason why I felt so groggy was because I wasn't active. I was sitting behind a desk. Not that there's anything wrong with sitting behind a desk. I do it right now with my job at the moment. But I also do a lot of fitness, and I think that has helped me no end. Like, even if you sometimes feel like you can't, you know, do certain things, it's not about, you know, getting up and doing a CrossFit class. It's about just, you know, perhaps just walking around the block. I could only walk down the corridor and back, and that was my fitness for the day. So it's not necessarily about, you know, I'm not saying, oh, you know, you should do loads of fitness and that's going to be your cure. I'm not saying that at all. But it definitely helped me to get my mindset right as well, to think, right, I've got to get up and I've got to do something, because you can just be in your own mind, can't you?
Yeah.
So I applied for a job abroad and I got it. So then, obviously, that was in 2012, and my last operation was 2010. So I was on azathioprine, yeah, I can never say that right, and Humira injections. And yeah, I worked abroad, I worked all over the world doing event management, Egypt, Greece, Tenerife, Gran Canaria, all over. And still, you know, having my bouts of my Crohn's, and they said to me, you know, you'd always be on medication because of how severe it was. I thought, you know what, shall I just try without? And I'm not saying people should do this, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try. He goes, well, it'll come back. It's a preventative, this Humira. It's going to come back. And I've never had symptoms as severe as that since. And I took myself off Humira. And I'm just on natural things. I've got a healthy diet. I do my fitness, my mindset. I'm a mindfulness coach as well, so I teach mindfulness. And I'm, you know, trying to do it naturally, basically. I have B12 injections, and I do have a natural supplement that I have, a B12 spray, which I take. And yeah, and that was my story. And then now I applied for a job in St. Lucia at the Body Holiday. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, a wellness resort. And I worked there. And then now I'm an online, fitness instructor full time. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Thank you for sharing.
Didn't take a breath, did I? Sorry, guys, if you wanted to say anything.
No.
I'm wondering, did you have like any like struggles when you were traveling abroad? Like, with your diet or anything? Because I know different
Yeah.
places have like different foods and stuff.
Definitely. Now, also with getting the Hamira there, because it has to be cool, right?
Yeah.
And I'd have to take a letter every time and say, it's in a little box, it's going to come with me. And they're like, what's that? So there is struggles with that. But obviously, you know, customs and everything's quite okay. They do kind of know about certain medications and they just check it, don't they, to make sure it's okay. So I didn't have massive struggles with that, but I was anxious about taking it and worried about traveling because of it. But don't be, because it's, you know, if you're worried about that and travel, don't be, because they do know certain medication. But yes, especially because I worked in resorts. So resorts food is amazing, but for your 2-week holiday, and that sounds really spoiled, doesn't it, that I had resort food the whole time, but it's very oily and it's very, I wouldn't say processed, but it's on bulk, isn't it? They accommodate people, you know, mass on bulk. So you don't have home cooking as much. So I tried to obviously cook at home. When I was in Greece, obviously their diet is beautiful. So I tried to, you know, eat a lot of the fresh stuff from there, which really helped me. But yeah, sometimes it was a little bit like, oh, I can't eat that again at the resorts. So yeah.
That is awesome. You're somewhere I would love to travel and visit. That's on my bucket list to go there. I know it's beautiful. The weather. Does the weather have any type of factor on your health while you're over there?
It does, yeah. And last year I went back to be with my mum in England, obviously when all of the pandemic started. And I was like, right, okay, well, I want to be with my mum. She's the most important person. I don't want to obviously be here. And then if there's any issues, I can't get back to her because of all the flights being stopped. So I was like, right, I'll go back to my mum. And although we had a lovely time together, it was really nice to be, you know, so close, because I'm always traveling. It was really nice to be with her. I felt so isolated in lockdown, and I was really struggled with it, to be honest, just because I'm always, you know, kind of next thing, and that is because of, you know, my Crohn's. I think I would have always been like that, but I think more so now that I'm on my deathbed, and I was like, right, okay, well, I either have this surgery or I'm not going to be here. Now I'm like, okay, 10 to the dozen. Let's not think about it. I want to do it now. So when that wasn't available to me, and like flights weren't available, that was really, you know, isolating for me, which is when I started to use supplements to try and, you know, boost my energy. And, you know, vitamin D, it's very important, especially if you're in a country that doesn't have a lot of sun or you're inside. Vitamin D supplements are obviously really important. So yeah, and then obviously I came back here, but sun and yeah, I'd say being out in the sunshine does help, but I think it's to do with your mindset as well. Can't just say, you know, I'm going to be in the sunshine now and feel okay. I think there's a time where, you know, you need to perhaps think, right, okay, today I'm going to just small steps. I'm going to do this today and I'm going to achieve that today. Then I'm going to do this. Don't take it, you know, like I want to achieve this in a day. Small steps, you know, for me, it was just getting up and having some different food to eat. I remember like actually having solid food, because I was on a liquid diet for so long. Oh, you're nil by mouth again. And all the ward was there with the food. And I was nil by mouth again. So you have to kind of get your mindset, you know, to think, right, okay, next day is going to be good. And just keep yourself going, really. And that's why I said, you know, perfect opportunity for you guys to speak to different people and, you know, just say, hey, I'm here if you want to chat. I speak to, you know, quite a few people on Instagram about certain things and how I can help them, because I think that's the best way, right? If we can help people. I would have loved someone to have spoken, you know, loved someone to tell me all the things that I went through and said, you'll be all right. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, you know, to hear you say that, Laura. I mean, that's the whole, you know, kind of reason for the show, is to kind of, you know, excuse me, is to be that change you want to see in the world, right?
Yeah.
You know, because I was the same way. Like, man, you know, like, where are these people, you know, telling their stories and that look like me or that I can relate to, and so So we decided to, I decided to, and then CJ and Renika were, amazing enough to, to join me here and, and to, to hear people's stories and to give folks a platform, to kind of share their, successes, over, over, the IBD adversities and stuff. So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Definitely. It's
So,
something that resonated with me when you mentioned about you were basically on go mode, go, because you felt like you on your deathbed initially,
Yeah.
you had the first symptom, and I think that comes with when we get diagnosed so instantly or not knowing what's going on, we don't know what it looks like. So
No.
anything I want to do, I have to do it now because I feel so good. You
Yeah.
mentioned like you have a temporary ostomy. So I took upon myself to make a decision. I could have had reversal, but I would have had became in worse condition post surgery if I had a reversal done. I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get it done. I will go ahead and take care of that because what happened was my life had became stagnant, right?
Yeah.
Work,
Yeah.
home. I did things that was in like a 30-minute mile radius of me what I could control. And I got tired of living like that. I was like, you know what? This is not what I was born to do, is stay in this 30-mile radius of my life. So I had to move forward and do things that I wanted to do. So I want to tell everybody out there, life is beautiful. You can have fun. You can enjoy your life. This is not a one like a end all do all type of diagnosis, but it can be crippling if your mind is not strong enough to handle it when you're going through these flares, because a flare can really put you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I'm all smiley on here, but I definitely wasn't all smiles. I went through some really, really, really low, in some really low places. And at one point we thought, well, do you want to go and see a counsellor? And to me, talking to a stranger didn't really help me. I just thought my own maybe it's my own mental strength then, but it doesn't work for everybody. But I just thought, right, I've just got to get myself strong again because I know I can do it, and have that inner strength, I think, and always keep going and always see the good in each day as well, because you don't always have good days, and I don't want to paint it rosy that I even had, every day is a good day, but I think you need to find the good in your day. Like, well, I did this and I did that, and I still do it now. And like I say to my boyfriend at night, I'm like, oh right, so I've done this and I've done that, so that's good. Then I've done that. He's like, oh, because for me, like I'm like ticking off, right? They were the things I needed to achieve today, and I've done them. Do you know what I mean? Like I still live like that now. I think it helps.
Definitely. That's why we have to articulate. Yeah.
Awesome. And so, I'm a little bit, curious about. Well, I have a couple of questions, but one of them is about St. Lucia. And so, what's something? People would, when they kind of visualize that, they think about it as a picturesque, like kind of utopia type thing. And so, what's it's like being there and living there. What's kind of reality on the ground for you? What would you say? Like, what you really like to live there? Is it, I know it's fun. But I know it's really
quiet. It's quiet. Obviously, it's the grass is greener, isn't it, all the time? So everyone's like, "Oh, you're in the sun," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't go outside in the sun all day because I'm bored of the sun now. Like, it's too hot. Like, I don't want to be in the sun all the time." It's like, "Oh, but you must go to the beach every day." I'm like, "Only to do my yoga classes. Like, I don't go every day because it's just there." So, like at home, I'm like missing big shopping malls and like things like that. That when I get home, I'm like, "Oh, now I miss the beach." So yeah, it's very, very beautiful. St. Lucia is probably, well, they name it the honeymoon island of the Caribbean. And, just going out and being able to just drive around and seeing, beautiful. It's very green here, which I know that a lot of other Caribbean islands, it's more like the tropical beach, whereas here it's very jungle-like. It's got the pitons, the waterfalls, sulfur springs and things like that. So there's things to see that you probably wouldn't see on other islands. I'm just advertising St. Lucia here, aren't I? Come to St. Lucia.
I'm gonna come and let you know.
You only need your 2 COVID tests now, and you can come in. You don't have to quarantine. Check that.
Awesome.
All right. You heard the lady.
Yeah.
So now, some other question was about IBD and Crohn's, and so with all the things that you're doing in your life right now, what is your symptoms? Do you live a pretty normal life? Would you say like as versus before? Or do you still like are you still having like is it still like a daily battle for you, or kind of what's your
It is, yeah, but in different ways. So when I first got diagnosed, it was like, bam, like you've got, I don't know if they explain it to you like that, like bookends, and like there was no gap in between. So it was just literally closing in. My bowel was just closing in. So then I think there was an abscess there and everything. So the pain was just horrific, like crawling. Like, and even like, morphine and all that wasn't even cutting it. It was just so much pain. I have not had that since, but I have a lot of other symptoms. So I have fatigue, I have weight loss, weight gain. Going to the toilet, not always going to the toilet. So those kind of things. So my diet, eating certain things. So things that obviously pass through your bowel, like onions or anything that's hard to digest.
Yeah.
If you're in a flare up, it does rub on the lining of your bowel, and then obviously that causes the pain. So I like to make sure that I'm taking all of my vitamins and minerals, and that's why I have plant-based supplements, basically, because without that, sometimes I can't eat. The doctor tells you've got to eat 5 fruit and veg a day, and you've got to eat all these lovely green things. And I love vegetables, like I'm a vegetable freak anyway. But sometimes it's just not good for me to do that. So you want to be healthy, you want to eat well, but then you're told, oh, you're in a flare up, you should eat white bread and Rice Krispies. And you're like, what?
We all been there.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
So that is why I, with my online classes and stuff, I promote all of my natural products, so that I'm telling obviously all my clients as well that everybody needs to have vitamins and minerals and all that kind of thing. But especially for Crohn's people and people with illnesses that they can't intake the right amount of nutrients. I've not got my ileum's been taken out, so that's the part that connects your large bowel to your small bowel. Well, that's where we've had the same stuff, haven't we? We've been through the same. So that doesn't. So then you don't absorb nutrients in your food. So however much you put in it's not absorbing. So to have something, that's going to be quick absorbing, that you don't have to eat 10,000, broccolis to make sure that you're healthy. You can just have a few supplements. Why not? And that's what I do. And I'm a lot healthier with them. My energy's up because I get fatigue. So my energy's, higher. The vitamin D, obviously, I have as a supplement. And I have like a core product. So it has everything in it, basically, for your hormones. Because we all know gut health is mental health, right? So you have to, people don't realize the relationship with this. And that is something that I'm obviously learning as a wellness coach, as well as doing nutrition, and as well with having Crohn's. I've had to look into those kind of things because it has a massive correlation. And if you're, your probiotic and prebiotic isn't balanced, and you need that in your system to make yourself feel, healthy again, then, why not take some supplements that are, plant-based, that aren't going to damage you? I mean, I think that's the thing as well. When I was taking Humira and all the other medicines, it just made me, I just thought, what else can I take that's going to be good for me? I know that it's all, vegan, GMO free, all this kind of stuff. I don't want to be putting extra stuff like, an aspirin or a paracetamol or anything like that into me when I could try and do it more holistically, and that was my take on it, really, just because of the experience of how much medication was pumped into my body. I actually felt my speech had gone slightly as well. I know that sounds silly, but when you are on so much high medication, it's hard to even like cognitive, like
The brain
you're
fog.
on. Yeah. I was telling everybody loads of weird stories, but like to even get into the, think, like, I just feel like I was on a hell of a lot of drugs. So to be able to do something for myself and think, right, okay, I'm going to look at what I'm putting in my body and how I'm going to do it, was my goal, really, and to help others and to tell others that that's the way forward. Yeah.
That's
How did
awesome.
how did you go about finding your supplements? My bad, Renika.
Oh no, I'm saying it's awesome. Yeah.
How did you go about finding like the exact supplements you on? Did you have to like go through a lot of trial and error, or was it just like you picked one and it actually worked for you?
No, I mean, I always had B12 injections anyway, which was done obviously at the doctor's. And then I started looking at herbal stuff, really, in, a food store. Holland Barrett it's called in England. And I tried lots of things, and some of them didn't really work for me. So I have got a brand that I use. I mean, I'll let people know. You can either put it on a link here or whatever. And I found that that's the only thing that's really worked for me. Like, obviously, everybody's going to be different, but it was just because it was a combined. It had combined properties, so it wasn't just for, vitamin D or B12 or gut health. It was actually for the whole mix. To align your body, to give you maximum energy, to sort out your core and your hormonal imbalances. And those products really just did it for me. Like, yeah, and I just felt amazing on them. So yeah, I just felt great on them.
Cool.
That's awesome. Talking about the diet and
Yeah.
healthy, it's amazing that with our diagnoses, eating a lot of vegetables, especially green vegetables, are like the worst thing we could do to our stomachs if we're going through a
Yes.
prayer or anything.
Yeah.
You're right. Like the green vegetables cause you to become very gassy, very bloated.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, careful, you have chronic diarrhea.
Yeah.
And people say, well, just change your diet, eat more vegetables. Like, you understand, we cannot eat vegetables and fruit like that. I mean, only certain things we can eat.
I know.
So going through a flare, you mentioned about the the rice, and I think you mentioned, I think the applesauce and the, what is it, rice, applesauce, and toast.
Yeah.
They call it the Bratz diet. So reality, you got to find something that works best for you, because a lot of foods we eat, you can't really fry food because the grease make your stomach hurt. You can't put the food in, can't get all the vegetables because the vegetables make your stomach hurt. You got to take all the pills off of it. It's like so much.
Exactly.
Coffee and caffeine and chocolate. I can go on and on about this food thing. I have a food. Me and food is like a fight, a war. I'm telling you. But it's very admirable that you have found things that work for you. And a lot of people I've talked to have went the holistic route to their medical safety, because they feel like medications for them is not working. I take a medication called Stellara. It has worked well for me. I've been in remission for almost 2 years now. But I also say me having my surgery also helped improve that, because the part of my colon that was inflamed was the bottom part called the sigmoid colon. Once that part was removed, like, okay, then what's next? Now it's fine. So you know your body, and having a good provider and no one telling you how you feel, because we know when we feel bad, you know, if you feel good, you know, you gotta start a flare, we know all of these things. But kudos to you for being so strong and determined to, despite what happens, still be on your path of traveling, being abroad, and doing whatever makes you happy. And this is very admirable. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thanks. Try my best. I think that, things in life absolutely make you stronger. So, I had as well in hospital, don't know how you did it. Don't know how you did it. I'm like, what do you mean? What did I do? I had to do it. Like, I don't know why you're saying I don't know. Oh, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have been in hospital that long. I'm thinking, well, you don't have to, you have to battle on. There's no other option. And I think it makes you stronger. And then, you know, other things happen in your life. And, you know, my dad passed away a couple of years after that. So, and he was my absolute rock. And I think, right, well, I've still got to carry on for him, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And I think, you know, you go through life and you have challenges, and it just makes you stronger. And then sometimes now people are like, oh, you know, I'm really annoyed about this. And I'm thinking, that's really like, come on now. But it's easy to say that as well. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's easy to say because a lot of people have done that to me. Come on then. And you're like, sometimes you just can't come on then. So I'm not saying that in a way for like anyone that's feeling depressed or down. Literally, like sometimes I feel like we all just need that. Yeah, let's go for it. I just want everyone to like feel the energy and go for it in the day, because life's worth living. And if you do feel down or you feel like you want to talk to anyone, then that's what we're all here for.
Exactly.
That's great, Laura.
Yeah.
So, Laura.
Well, Laura, we're extremely grateful, you know, to have you here today and to listen to, you know, to your journey, your story today. We're going to wrap things up a little bit, but before we go, how can people, you know, reach out to you, find you, and support you in your business?
So I've got an Instagram. I've got 2 Instagram pages. It's Miss_Laura_Ellen. So I think you put me on earlier, and I like shared it and everything. And then I also have Laura_Ellen_wellness. They're my 2 Instagrams.
Okay.
Add me on both, speak to me on both, whichever's fine. And then through that, you can click on the link in my bio for my online platform where anybody can join. I do 3 classes a week. I do a HIIT class, leg bums and tums, and a beginner's yoga. I also have private sessions as well. So if anybody wanted to do a little bit of fitness with me that's got Crohn's disease, I know what you've been through. If it just means, you know, just doing a few arm exercises, leg exercises, getting yourself moving again, mobility, I'm here for you. So it's not about your CrossFit. It's not about your high intensity stuff. You know, let's get you back on your feet and, you know, getting a little bit of fitness in if you want to, or just chat to me as well. And then through there as well, it's a link to all of the products that I use. So you can chat to me about any of the products that I've found beneficial for me. There's a massive range as well within the company that I get it from. So if all different ailments, people, you know, with arthritis and things like that, because it all correlates to Crohn's as well, autoimmune diseases basically. So yeah,
cool.
You can click on my links in my bio, and yeah, I'll be there. If not, you can send me a message.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Laura is amazing. Everybody, you know, like reach out to her, connect with her, you know, and support her business and support what she's doing. You know, so again, we're grateful to have you here. If you know, if you like, you know, what you heard today, if you like this interview, you know, please, you know, subscribe and support our show on YouTube, on Twitch. You can check us out on www.crohnsveteran.com. We have a Teespring store, so I encourage Laura to check that out, because it'd be so cool to have Crohn's veteran stuff, just, you know, like in St. Lucia and stuff like that. So please check out our store.
Definitely.
So that would be super awesome. And you know, and anybody else listening, check out our store, check out our podcast. We're on all the platforms. We're on Apple, on Google, on Spotify, on Anchor, all that kind of stuff. And also, if you want to, you know, reach out to us for sponsorships or business opportunities, those kind of things, you can email me, Jordan McConnell, the founder of Crohn's Veteran, at jordan@crohnsveteran.com. Or if you want to, or for the same reasons, you can reach out to CJ at CJ Cabrera at Colitis Veteran, because he's the Colitis Veteran, .com. And then Renika at CrohnsVeteran.com. You can email her too. And so please reach out to us, support us. We're trying to grow our brand worldwide. That's why it's so awesome to have Laura here today. And And so again, we appreciate
Come
your
to
time.
sunny St. Lucia.
Yeah. St. Lucia. Looking forward to coming out there and someday, but yeah, definitely bucket list thing for me too.
We should definitely do like a Crohn's event out here. Yeah.
That'd be
Okay.
amazing.
An
That sounds
event.
pretty awesome. That sounds pretty awesome. All right, well, cool. Well, again, Laura, thank you. Wish you continued success in all your endeavors, and and thank you for sharing your story with us today.
And you too. Lovely to meet you all.
Nice to meet you, Laura. Have a good night.